Hello and welcome back to another episode here on the Cosmere SMP. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the Astral Sorcery mod. So this mod is a bit of a grind. Most mods do tend to be that way. The first thing you're going to want to do is get an Astral Tome. You should have spawned into the world with an Astral Tome. This is going to be your guide to how to move through the mod and how to do pretty much everything in it. When you first open the book, you're only going to have the Discovery tab open. You can either double click on it like I just did to go into the Discovery constellation or galaxy, or you can use your scroll wheel to zoom in. I personally never use the scroll wheel, I just double click. So it has a whole bunch of text that you can read to kind of give you some of the flavor behind it, but I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the important things early on and stuff to look for. So the first thing that you're going to want to do when you have your tome, if you lost your tome, you can actually craft one with a book, 3 aquamarines, and a piece of parchment. The piece of parchment is crafted by putting paper around an aquamarine. So that would be how you replace the tome if you have lost it. You're going to want to start by exploring. The first thing you're going to want to look for is going to be aquamarine shale. This looks like sand, but it has it kind of looks like a mix between diamond ore and sand. The best tool for it is going to be a shovel. You break it, you get an aquamarine, which is here in my gem bag. I believe it is subject to the fortune enchantment, so yeah, you'll see there I just got a couple more. So you're going to want to get some aquamarines. That's going to be the first thing you want to do. While you are exploring the world, you will stumble upon different shrines. There are 3 different sized shrines in the world. There is the large shrine, which I'm going to visit in a little bit, over there. That's probably got the best loot, and it's going to be the one you're going to want to set up a temporary base near. There are also these smaller shrines here. The smaller shrines, you're going to want to look underneath the pillars for chests. It's a great way to get ender pearls and any other materials that you might need for the mod. While you're exploring, the thing you're going to be looking for are these constellation papers. The way that the mod progression works is you're trying to unlock all the constellations. In basic Astral Sorcery, these constellations are made up constellations, but the mod that I have here on the Cosmere server is actually replacing those fake constellations with the real constellations from the Zodiac. So you can see I have discovered all 12 constellations of the Zodiac, as well as 4 constellations, 4 other real constellations. You're going to start off with just being able to identify 5 of the constellations. Those are the so-called bright constellations: Sagittarius, Gemini, Aries, Capricornus, and Virgo. So the first 5 constellation papers you collect, you'll be able to put them in your inventory, and they'll immediately turn into something that looks like this: constellation paper with the name of the constellation after it. Once you have discovered these papers, you're going to want to shift right click your book and then store the constellation papers inside of your Astral Tome. If you find more than 5 constellation papers, keep collecting them. There are 16 different constellations, so you're going to need 16 constellation papers at some point. Constellation papers you do not want to lose, so you're going to put them in your Astral Tome. If you happen to lose your Astral Tome and then you make a new one, it will actually store those papers in there. But if you somehow lose the paper itself, whether it's in your inventory and you throw it out or something along those lines, crafting a new constellation paper is very annoying. So I'm going to take everything but the constellation paper, because I don't need them actually. Now that I say that, I'm going to take the paper. Because it would be really annoying if you found this shrine. You would think that it was already looted. I like leaving the shrines damaged so that someone else on the server will know that it's already been looted. So this is the first little shrine. There's nothing too special about it other than it has some loot. The next little shrine you'll actually find in the desert most easily. I had one a little while ago, but there it is. So you can see because the sand is all kinds of messed up here. So what you're going to want to do is clear out the sand and mine down. And here we have a medium-sized shrine. The difference is here is it's got a room. It has this right here, which is called a collector crystal, but it also has the resources in the chests. You could set up your temporary base around one of these. It will work as easily as one of the larger shrines. Just depends on if you want to be tied to a desert. So the last kind of shrine is the... Okay, let me try to fly. Oh my god. Oh my god, there we go. Lord. The last kind of shrine is the large shrine, which is just over this way. There are lots of these large shrines. If you've done any exploration, you've probably already found them. They show up on the minimap pretty easily. So I can see there's one there. You know, there's two up here. They tend to be all over the place. So let's head on over there. Trying to fly during the day isn't always great. Okay. And just like the medium-sized shrine, you're going to want to bust down into it. And there's loot. There's another collector crystal. And some more loot. So looting these shrines is going to be the first thing that you really want to do to start getting the equipment you need. The next thing you're going to want to do is actually going to happen in one of these shrines that has the collector crystals. So whether it is the medium shrine or the large shrine, you want to remove all blocks directly above the collector crystal. There are water sources here, so you could get rid of them. I think I'm going to, just because I don't like the water falling down. But you want to give the collector crystal access to the sky. Once you have that, it'll start to shine more brightly, and you're going to want to place a crafting table. The collector crystal will react with the crafting table and give you the luminous crafting table. This is going to be the beginning of moving through the mods. Every time you create a new crafting table, the mod will unlock a new region. So that would have unlocked exploration. Okay, so I think I'm going to cut here and head back to my base and start showing you some of the stuff that you work on as you go through the mod pack. So I'll cut here and I'll be right back. And we're back. So I'm back at my base. A lot has changed since the last time we were here. I actually don't remember what I had last time we were here. I'm pretty sure the factory is new. I only finished that yesterday. Got a greenhouse that I'm working on out back. Got these paths that are linked up. Just trying to make this place look a little more lived in. But to continue talking about the Astral Sorcery mod, you're going to want to get a few more resources that I actually forgot about. The first thing you're going to want to do is, still in the Discovery chapter, you're going to want to craft a resonating wand. This can be done in a regular crafting table. You just need plain marble, aquamarines, and an ender pearl, And that ender pearl can be hard to get, especially early on, if you need to hunt down endermen. But if you just keep hunting for those Astral Sorcery temples, you'll find ender pearls pretty easily. So the resonating wand is a very useful tool for a number of reasons. The first reason is you need it to craft. It's the way you're going to activate your crafting table. So the way that you craft in Astral Sorcery is you need to have more than just the crafting ingredients. You also need to have starlight up to a certain level, and then you'll use the resonating wand to activate it, and it will start crafting. The other reason that you need the luminous wand is you need to find the other unique resource for this mod. So if we go back in here, under the ores, there was this rock crystal ore. These are extremely useful, but they're hard to find. They're located down near bedrock, and the only way to really find them, other than just being extremely lucky and mining down at bedrock, is by using the resonating wand to detect where they are. So I'm just running around here on the surface, and I should hopefully see some particles that will tell me that there are rock crystals deep, deep, deep underground. So there we go. I already marked this out. What I was doing early game was I was just running around in circles with my resonating wand out and then throwing a piece of marble down so I would know what's going on there. Once you find a spot, you're going to want to dig down. Be careful digging straight down. I always do the 2x1 method where I can see any lava. And eventually we'll get down. I'm going to go 1 by 1 because I can fly, so that does kind of save me from lava. You will occasionally run into these meteorites. You need a diamond pickaxe to be able to break through them, and while I do have a diamond pickaxe, I'm just not feeling like it right now. Let me throw down a light. Okay, so now I'm down here at bedrock. I need to be careful because there is a lava lake nearby. I can hear it. I can see it on my mini-map. So it's right over there. So the rock crystal should be nearby. There it is. Right over lava. This will be fun. So it's pretty easy to get if you're not right over a lava lake, but if you are, you just gotta work slowly and carefully. I just want to make sure that none of the rock crystals fall into the lava, because when you break the rock crystal ore, it will actually shatter into multiple crystals. That really wasn't that many, but sometimes you'll get lucky and there will be a lot of rock crystals inside of one piece of ore. And then you just pillar yourself out, or in my case, fly out. And that is it about rock crystals. Rock crystals are an important crafting material. You do need them for quite a few of the higher level crafting recipes. So speaking of crafting, we're now in the, I forget what it's called, exploration chapter. So in here there are some recipes that you can follow. Talks about rock crystal properties, how to modify rock crystals. The important things that are in here are going to be your light well. So the light well requires a rock crystal. This will actually turn rock crystals and aquamarines from a solid form into liquid starlight. So this is how I've been getting my liquid starlight that I've been using for decoration everywhere. I take these aquamarines, I toss them into a light well, it creates liquid starlight. I'm actually currently pumping it into the storage silo so I can store a whole lot. Lots and lots and lots of it. But you're going to want some light wells because there are quite a few recipes that require liquid starlight. Also, I should have gotten a bucket up while I was up there. Liquid starlight is the method you're going to use. Let me get a couple buckets for modifying your rock crystals. You can see here that my rock crystals have different properties: size 1, purity 2, tool efficiency. I can combine rock crystals by placing 2 different rock crystals into a pool of liquid starlight. Particle effects appear. Over a period of time, the rock crystals will merge and those properties will merge. I can also take a rock crystal. Let's see. I don't think that one will work. There we go. So size 1, purity 2, shape 1, tool efficiency 2. I can take a rock crystal. I'll see if it works with this one, all by its lonesome with a bucket of liquid starlight, and it should grow to be a larger size. That's going to be useful because as we go, you can actually chip your rock crystals off and make smaller and smaller rock crystals. So that tends to be my method for keeping rock crystals around, is I will toss a rock crystal into liquid starlight, it will increase in size, and then I will cut it in half, and then I get 2 rock crystals out of it. Those rock crystals tend to be weaker because as you chip it apart, the stats kind of break down over time, but let's see. Yeah, it didn't really change it. Unfortunately, if you have too many properties in the rock crystal, throwing it into the pool doesn't seem to actually make it grow. The next thing that you're going to want to craft is the looking glass. You're going to need a lens. This is a piece of stained glass and aquamarine. All of these crafting recipes, aside from the ones on the first page, need to be done in a luminous crafting bench or another starlight crafting bench. You can always use a larger crafting bench to craft simpler things. So you're going to want a lens, and then you're going to want some wood, gold, and sticks, and this will make a looking glass. This is what you're going to use for finding the constellations. I don't think I do have one. So at night, you'll look around the night sky to try to find the constellations. When you find one, you'll hold shift, and then you'll use the mouse to play a little game of connect the dots to map out the constellation. Once you do that, you'll be able to see it in the night sky, and you can start doing stuff with it. You'll actually be able to see some information about it. It tells you what the effect is. It tells you other information about it. We are back. Sorry about that quick cut there. The mailman showed up and my dog started barking, so I had to leave. So we were talking about the looking glass and how you use it. You'll right-click to use it. You'll look through the night sky trying to find constellations. As far as what constellations are out, that is based on the phase of the moon. I know that there we go. So you'll identify the constellation because the stars in the background and the stars for the constellation move differently. You'll then want to hold shift and you'll just do a game of connect the dots. If you're reasonably accurate, it will discover the constellation, and then you'll be able to see the constellations in the night sky. Now, as far as knowing which constellations are out, you'll check out in here. you can see what phase of the moon each constellation is visible in. So it's full moon, this gibbous moon, this half moon, and this gibbous moon. So that's it for constellations. The other things you're going to want to play around with and craft up are going to be here in the exploration tab. You're going to want some infused wood. You get this by, if I remember correctly, just tossing wood into some starlight. It will turn into infused wood. You can see it, some brown particle effect. And you can maybe make out that there are items jumping around in there. There we go. So we've got infused wood. That's used for a lot of crafting. The next thing that you're going to want to craft is going to be this phosic resonator. This is how you're going to find out where you want to set up your astral sorcery stuff. So if you hold it at night, this blue fog effect will appear in areas that have relatively high starlight values. So this whole area is pretty high in starlight, so that's why I set up my crafting area over here. If I were to put my crafting bench over there, it wouldn't be as useful. Why did I break that? So we see here that it's full up to almost all the way. But if I were to put it in one of these blue spots, like right here, it fills up a little bit further. You can also get the starlight to fill up by going higher up. There is a Y level value that if you're above that Y level, you get more starlight. I haven't really needed to deal with it. Finding the dense starlight patch was enough. And then there are other ways to add starlight. For instance, you can add these astral relays. Once you have a good set of starlight, you're going to want to upgrade your crafting altar. So you take your luminous crafting bench and you use this recipe in there and activate it, and you will get the starlight crafting altar. From this point onwards, in order to make the crafting recipes work, you're going to need a multi-block structure. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for what is involved here. You can switch and look at different layers. You see the dimensions up at the top. It's 9 by 4 by 9. Sometimes getting some of these interior pieces, figuring out what kind of marble it is going to be a little annoying. The only other thing I can really think of that would help you get started is when you do find one of those temples or shrines or whatever you want to call them, you're going to want to use that as a harvest point and just go ahead and mine up all of the marble, because it's got all the different kinds of marble that you're going to need. Well, not all of them, most of the kinds of marble you're going to need. And it's just easier than trying to find veins of marble and mine those up individually. So I've torn apart a couple of those larger shrines, just trying to get the resources. So that's kind of the nitty-gritty nuts and bolts of the beginning of Astral Sorcery. As you go on further, you're going to be doing so attunement is all about adding buffs and picking these perks. You'll also be going into you'll be finding more and more constellations. There are really interesting things that can be done with Astral Sorcery. I have not done all of those interesting things. There are rituals you can do. There are certain tools that you can do. I've been using other mods for my tools for the most part. But you can do, there's a decent amount of automation kind of things that you can do with Astral Sorcery. It's just not as easy to automate. Now, there are a couple of bugs that I have noticed. For instance, I have not discovered all of the constellations because the last 4 constellations require the use of this observatory, and I just get a black screen when I use it. supposed to be able to see stars. So that is a little annoying. Also, the gateways, which are a way to teleport yourself, supposed to have a star field that you can see, but it's black. So you kind of have to just get on here and know roughly where the other portals are and hope that you can. Takes a lot of trial and error sometimes. There we go. And you can use these to warp around. Not the best teleportation method. Silence Gems has a better one. But anyways, that is, I think, going to do it for this mod, for at least this video. I know this video kind of got a little long. I did kind of get rambly there. But, you know, in the future, I'll probably be looking at other mods. I think the next one on my list is going to be Mystical Agriculture. I was going to do that for this video, but I don't quite have the infrastructure ready, so I need to do a little bit more work to get ready for Mystical Agriculture. But I plan on doing mod highlight videos going forward. So thanks for watching. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, whatnot. The information to join the server is still going to be down in the description below.